watching KSL 5. This is the #1 Eyewitness News at 10.
I hate to tell people to quit worrying because at any time we could have something serious.
As evidence suggests the anthrax threat may be moving west, anxiety heats up close to home. In the past 2 days, hazardous material teams have responded to dozens of false alarms. Good evening, everybody, and thanks for joining us tonight. I'm Ruth Todd.
And I'm Dick Norris. The calls began last night from worried residents all along the Wasatch Front who feared their children's candy could be tainted with anthrax. Today, the anxiety spread to suspicious mail. Early this afternoon, the Utah Board of Pardons called police to report a threatening letter containing a suspicious powder. Their building was evacuated while hazmat teams investigated. The substance is still being tested. At almost the same time, a suspicious package at the Meyer and Frank warehouse in South Salt Lake brought out police and fire crews. The package originated in Turkey, but on the outside, a message scrawled in Spanish read, "Death to America, friends of bin Laden." It turned out to be a false alarm, nothing but glassware inside. False alarms last night, dozens of them, kept emergency crews on the go. They took call after call for every kind of candy imaginable.
It was people who were concerned about items they found maybe on or in the candy that their kids were bringing home from trick-or-treating.
Each was investigated. All turned out to be false alarms. All told, Salt Lake County hazmat crews responded to 24 calls. In Sandy, crews went out on 8 hazmat calls. In Salt Lake, West and South Jordan, and Murray, 7 calls, and 4 more calls from unincorporated Salt Lake County. That's 43 calls in one night. Firefighters say that's just part of their job.
I know that people are really concerned, and that's okay.
Outside Utah, anthrax did turn up in several new places today, including a postal sorting center in Kansas City and the Food and Drug Administration building in Maryland.
You know, with all the nervousness over anthrax, it's still not keeping people home at Utah tonight.
To the contrary, there are a lot of people out tonight, a whole lot of people at the Jazz game or celebrating the opening of the new Gateway project in downtown Salt Lake City and in Park City, where they're celebrating the Olympics with a 100 Days Away party.
That's right. We have a team of coverage of a night that's an early preview of just how lively and crowded our streets are going to be during the holiday season, all the way through the Olympics. Let's begin tonight with Jed Bull. He's live over at the Gateway. Jed.
Well, Dick and Ruth, there certainly was a lot of energy downtown tonight, especially at the end of the tracks line. Over the next few months, there's going to be a new hub of activity will center around this area, certainly during the Olympics, and community leaders hope well beyond. With the snip of giant scissors and the slice of a trusty pocket knife, Gateway opened what could be a new era for downtown Salt Lake City. The $375 million project west of the Delta Center is a modern urban community with walkways that link places people can shop, be entertained, and live, all within reach of public transit.
We're very passionate in this grand endeavor to add a gathering place to Salt Lake City, a place with heart and soul.
Chris and Lisa Jensen embrace that vision. They'll move into their Gateway condo in about a year.
I think it's the hottest property in the state right now. It's bringing new stores here that we've never seen, and it'll be a whole new feel to downtown.
They say their friends aren't so sure about the idea.
They're like, you really want to live downtown? And they were kind of questioning it, but once I think they see this tonight, I think they'll understand why we want to live down here.
On nights like tonight, when the Jazz are playing and there's plenty of stuff going on at the Gateway, might be a good idea to come down on Trax. Trax says that it has an increase of 3,000 riders every night the Jazz play. A downtown that attracts us not just for our jobs, but for living. A one-time opponent of Gateway, Salt Lake City Mayor Rocky Anderson, now believes Gateway will help generate a greater sense of community.
This represents the very best of gathering places, a place where people from throughout this community and visitors to Salt Lake City will come together.
And there's certainly still a lot of people coming together down here in the Gateway project tonight. Right after the Jazz game let out, there was a rush of folks. If you want to get a closer look at the shops that are here at the Gateway, you can take a look at our website and follow the link and get a good look at what you can find down here. Ruth, Dick, back to you.
All right, very good. Tonight's traffic and party atmosphere will be a daily event during the Olympics. And those games are now less than 100 days away.
Can you believe that? News specialist Nadine Wimmer joins us. She is live at a countdown party in Park City. I bet it's a lot of fun there, Deanie.
Well, I have to give you a caveat here. During the Olympics, the parties will go all night, or most of it anyway, but look at the streets here. People kind of packed it in early a little bit. It's a school night, so it's not still going on, but they have dedicated this park over here into a full-time pin trading center. And I came prepared just today. We got the KSL new pin. Can you see it there with the Chopper 5? People thought this was a pretty hot item. And pretty soon down this street, they will have banners and lights to all spruce it up for the Olympics.
Look at her just The 100-day countdown has started to build enthusiasm.
I'm getting really excited because we have some tickets to some of the shows, the events, and I'm really excited to go see them.
I think it's finally hitting home to everybody that there's a lot to deal with.
Get a little quiver every now and then and go, oh, this is kind of cool.
Oh, how is everybody?
Park City opened a pin trading center where people can take part in an unofficial Olympic event.
You want to see a fancy one? Yeah, I tried to buy them, I can't get them, so I had to actually hire someone to go down and buy them.
Olympic athletes did a little cheerleading.
No matter if you're a competitor, a spectator, part of the media, it's just, there's no event like it. I don't even think the Super Bowl can compare.
But as signs of the game grow more obvious, anticipation is building on its own.
Then you come up here and it's kind of exciting.
Talking to a couple of people here, the one thing they'd really like to see is a little bit of snow. That would really get the festivity going. I'm Nadine Wimmer, live on the Night Beat.
Okay, Deanie, I guess what we meant was, I'm sure it was fun, but it looks pretty empty now. But thanks for the update.
Put your order in on the snow.
Yeah, we'll order the snow.
All right.
Talk to Mark.
An update now on the case of the 13-year-old girl assaulted at Jordanelle Reservoir. Jonathan Rico Fuentes has admitted he lured the girl into his car, promising her a ride to Hillside Intermediate School. He also told police he choked the girl until she was unconscious, assaulted her, then stabbed her twice in the neck with a screwdriver. The confession matches statements from the victim. Fuentes knew his victim. His girlfriend is a friend of the young girl's mother. Layton, Utah police have captured a wanted bank robber. Officers arrived on the scene and found the suspect fleeing the bank, first on a bicycle, then on foot. At one point, one of the patrol cars hit the suspect, but that still didn't stop him. He kept going and tried to escape into a nearby field by jumping a fence. That's where officers finally caught up with him.
Congress battles over who should oversee baggage screening at the nation's airports. Tonight, heated debate coming next.
Utah loses a round in the quest to add another congressional seat. Plus, an in-depth look at how Utahns have changed in the wake of unspeakable terror. How did September 11th affect you? A little later on.
Well, October is over and into the record books. Turns out, warmest nights for October in 9 years. What about November? We'll check the forecast, but first, the almanac showing today was, again, warmer than normal at night.
It will happen just once in our lifetime. And when the eyes of the world are on Utah, you and your family can experience the excitement, the drama, the fire of the Salt Lake 2002 Olympic Winter Games in person. Tickets are on sale now, starting at just $20. Smith's is proud to help bring this once-in-a-lifetime experience to the families of Utah. Smith's Tix, your walk-up ticket outlet for the Salt Lake 2002 Games.
Is it too much to ask for everything? The 2002 Mercury Mountaineer. For long trips, a third-row seat folds up for people and down flat for skis, golf clubs, you name it. For safety's sake, you get the protection of side curtain airbags. And for everything else the road throws at you, you get a precision-tuned suspension that also makes it fun to drive. Plus, with interest-free financing that lets you keep your money in the bank, you get everything you asked for. If you hurry. Mountaineer, the SUV built for here, is here.
Add some chairs and the table too. Handcrafted beauty designed for you. Accentuate your dining room. Come home to Thomasville.
Anniversary sale. Enjoy the savings.
KSL 5 closed captioning by Mailboxes Etc. now offering 6 months free mailbox rental with a purchase of 6 months.
There's a new warning tonight about possible terrorist attacks in California. One could target the Golden Gate Bridge. California Governor Gray Davis issued the alert late today, saying he had credible evidence the terrorists were plotting a rush-hour attack on 4 of the state's well-known bridges. The Justice Department, however, says the threat is not credible, that it was a general threat passed along by the FBI just as a precaution. Nevertheless, security has been increased there. Also late tonight, after a day of heated debate, the House of Representatives passed the airline security bill. The measure rejected a Senate version that would have turned airport screening operations over to federal employees. Instead, the House bill calls for federal supervision over privately employed airport screeners. Lawmakers now face the task of trying to find a compromise with the Senate.
The state of Utah lost a round today in the fight to wrest a congressional seat from North Carolina. Utah has been challenging the 2000 census, contending that missionaries for the Church of Jesus Christ of Latter-day Saints were not counted in the data. But today, a panel of federal judges voted to dismiss Utah's suit. The state plans to appeal the ruling to the Supreme Court. A Tooele High School teacher is in the hospital tonight after a bizarre shooting accident. Police say William Hogan was driving home from Tooele to Stockton when he heard a loud bang. Hogan says he then realized he'd been shot in the arm. Authorities say they believe the shooting was unintentional. The area where Hogan was driving is a popular spot for target shooting.
I think it's sort of a realization that we're all sort of in this together.
We've all experienced change since the unthinkable events of September 11th. For some, those changes have been imperceptible. For others, more drastic.
Some changes you may not have noticed. Coming next, after a look at tonight's current weather conditions.
Dad got this car with the Mountain America Credit Union loan over 25 years ago. I tell you, Dad and I have solved a lot of the world's problems driving around in this bad boy. I've taken a lot of advice, family advice. Dad has always passed on the good stuff, like his belief in his credit union. He taught me the value of membership and how it can help me enjoy the things I really want in life. I bought this car with the Mountain America loan, and I plan on passing it on to Casey, along with the advantages of Mountain America.
RC Willey grand opens our new Las Vegas store, and all stores celebrate with grand opening prices and one of the biggest mattress sales of the year. Save on name brands like Serta's Perfect Sleeper, Spring Air's Back Supporter, and Simmons Beauty Rest. Save on twins, fulls, queens, and kings. Save even on the new wider queen sets. Queen sets from just $179, king sets from just $379. Plus many come with free bed frame, free sheet set, and even free pillows. Enter to win a pair of Yamaha Wolverine ATVs from Plaza Cycle. Saturday, free hot dogs. This grand opening mattress sale all ends Saturday at all RC Willey stores.
Critics are saying Life as a House connects to its audience more honestly than any other movie this year. Rich with natural comedy, Kevin Kline gives one of his most deeply felt performances in the film the New York Times says is generating the kind of buzz not seen since American Beauty.
Change can be so constant. You don't even feel the difference until there is one. It happened to me.
Life as a House, rated R. In select cities, additional theaters Friday.
Larry H. Miller used car supermarkets are making automotive history. For the first time ever, 0% interest on all used cars. That's right, 0% financing on used vehicles. Pay thousands less than you would for a new car. And at Larry H. Miller used car supermarkets, pay 0% interest. Hundreds of late model clean used cars, all with 0 down, 0% interest, and 6-month warranty. It's never been done before. 0% APR on used cars at Larry H. Miller used car supermarkets in Murray, West Valley, and the Utah Auto Mall.
For total car care by certified technicians with a nationwide guarantee. Who does it all? Midas. Now at participating Midas locations, get 25% off mufflers, 50% off brake pads and shoes. And if you find a better deal, bring in the coupon and Midas will match it. Midas, we do that.
Time is a commodity, and Mountain America values your time. With statewide branches, internet services, and no surcharge ATMs, convenience is a tradition at Mountain America Credit Union.
Pass it on.
Pass it on.
Pass it on.
Eyewitness Weather is sponsored by San Francisco Design, with locations in Salt Lake, Park City, and Draper.
Everything has changed. How many times have you heard that since September 11th?
Plenty, and like most cliches, it's partly true. Many things have changed, many haven't. Right here in Utah, the terror attacks had a remarkable impact, and we're going to be telling you about that over the next few nights.
We begin with news specialist John Hollenhorst. John?
Well, you know, Dick, there's probably never been an event in America that struck so many people almost instantly as a life-changing experience. We have clear evidence for that in our story tonight, as well as a fascinating KSL Deseret News poll. We call our story, "You Don't Realize How Much You've Changed."
We've all changed, and we can all feel it. Some of it is very unpleasant.
I feel sad that we in America have to do this today.
And some of it makes us feel good.
People are being more courteous to each other. That's the number one thing.
Someday we may lose the habit of looking up nervously every time a plane flies over. But we're unlikely to ever forget that fateful date, September 11th. Lamont Murphy collects small change from passers-by.
People like to talk about it. I think they're a little bit on edge.
But our poll by Dan Jones and Associates shows 97% of Utahns feel they're coping with the tragedy. Only 47% say their anxiety has increased, even with the anthrax scare.
The likelihood of being hurt by it is probably more rare than being hurt in a traffic accident, and the fright is probably the biggest damage that's being done.
We're already used to armed soldiers at airports and heavier security everywhere, but have you ever seen so many cell phones? People seem to be keeping them handy at all times, a lifeline to a loved one.
She feels better when I've got it with me as well, because she knows that she can reach me at a moment's notice.
First grade teacher Sarah Jane Marshall went to the principal and resigned on September 14th. Terrorism, the catalyst for a life-changing decision.
Is it my turn? Your turn. Do you have any nieces?
She wanted to spend more time with her own children.
Life can be over very quickly, and I think that's what I really felt, that we're living our lives. We're short-changing ourselves.
Only 5% of Utahns considered changing jobs, but nearly all of us, 92%, feel more patriotic. Nationally, faith in American institutions is up, the highest in 30 years. Religious terrorism seems to have made Utahns more religious. 19% are going to church more, 43% praying more. And Utahns are trying to buy security on earth. Life insurance sales up 20% since Black Tuesday.
Utah Foster Care Foundation.
Applications by new foster parents plummeted by nearly half.
And I think there's a real uncertainty for people out there. And the last thing they want to do is bring in some more uncertainty, bring in another child, I think, or any of that type of lifestyle change, because right now they're uncertain about their own lives.
Marriage license sales dropped a few percentage points.
I think it's difficult for people to plan a joyous event such as a wedding with all of the tragedy that happened in New York.
But a lot of things didn't happen in Utah, defying conventional wisdom. Crime and domestic abuse are about the same. Suicides are not up. Alcohol sales are holding steady. Divorce neither up nor down. Mental health professionals say September 11th was the most severe psychological trauma in American history, but it seems to have brought out plenty of good.
I think people are kinder to each other.
63% of us say we're more courteous and friendly.
Boy, driving's a lot less stressful. There seems to be a lot more courteous drivers out there.
I think it's sort of a realization that we're all sort of in this together, and what Ben Franklin say, if you don't hang together, we'll hang separately.
How long can it last?
About a week and a half.
Actually, one of the most interesting aspects of our poll is on how long the changes will last. 2/3 of us, 67%, believe most changes in America since September 11th are, in fact, permanent. Back to you.
Very interesting.
Kind of reinforces another old cliche, life is short, doesn't it?
Right.
All right, John, very good. Thanks.
Thank you.
Well, you looking for the next storm?
There's a little tiny one on the distant horizon. Are you looking for 70s?
Well, I don't know.
Dick, you're always looking for 70s.
Ordinarily, I would be, but I know we need something
snow.
up
We
there.
saw Deanie up there. Park City needs a snow badly.
We definitely need the snow. And as we look into the record books to see what can we expect on a typical November, along the Wasatch Front, we normally have 1 day in the 70s. We have 5 in the 60s, and the bulk, 11 days are in the 50s. We get 9 where the highs are in the 40s, and 4 days, 30s. Now that's typically Thanksgiving time, end of the month. This is typically the first of the month, although I don't see anything on our charts that would put us up in the 70s in the next 7 days, but we'll wait and see. Storminess. We usually get 1.40 inches of water at the airport and 8 inches of snow. How about wet days? Well, we get 8 wet days, and of those 8, 4 are snowy days. The average first date of snow that falls an inch deep is about the 12th of November. That's the average. We'll wait and see what this month brings to us. It's most interesting. We've had some requests. Hey, tell us about the weather in Afghanistan, where some of the U.S. troops might be stationed. There are some clouds across North Afghanistan, and as far as tomorrow goes, afternoon temperatures, 86 at Kandahar, 64 around Kabul, and no storminess is anticipated for the next 5 days across this part of the world. In our part of the world, afternoon highs today, not hot, but near normal. Blanding was okay with 64, but a lot of 50s up and down the Wasatch Front. In the wake of that little low pressure that brought the rain the other day, well, 50s in its wake. Moab, 70. St. George, 70 plus. You get down to Phoenix, and temperatures were in the 80s today. And it wasn't terribly cold last night. It was cool, but we had a cloud cover in the north that kept temperatures upper 30s or lower 40s, which was surprisingly warm for this time of the year. What's on our horizon then? Well, the satellite photograph shows that there still are some clouds with showers coming into the Coast Range Mountains of Oregon. Even a few showers trying to come by Idaho, but these are very, very puny, minor little showers. High, thin clouds keep coming across Utah. There's a little patch of clouds, little mid-level disturbance coming out of California or into California, but it's just some clouds, no storminess expected. Tomorrow, there may be scattered showers here, but not in Utah. What about Saturday? Saturday looks like an excellent day. Not hot, but very pleasant. Tomorrow, other than the high clouds, a fair day, winds light, temperatures normal or above. Most spots tonight will be a little bit colder because of the clearer skies. Nice day. St. George, looking down the road for 7 days, you will see some clouds come in from that little low pressure off California. Temperatures, though, 70s. Next week, it may just dip below the 70-degree mark. And the Wasatch Front, don't see any big storms to tell you about. There's a little threat lined up for next Tuesday, but it's just kind of a minor threat at this time. But we go from 61 tomorrow to 64 on Monday.
Look at that.
Oh, you just can't buy one out there.
It's very comfortable.
It really is.
Thanks,
All right,
Mark.
Okay.
Well, everything,
night.
everything.
Oh, man.
Basketball, football, baseball, take your pick, and they're all big games.
It's a little crazy back in the sports.
Yeah, I heard
We're
you
trying
guys
to keep it down,
yelling,
but it's
screaming. I know who you want.
just incredible. One of the biggest and most dramatic nights in the sports year. The Yankee mystique lives on. Cougars and Rams lighten up the scoreboard. Talk about lighting it up. The Lake Show's in town. Shaq and Kobe in rare form. But the Salt Lake Show is here as well. You won't want to miss this sportscast.
Monday on Eyewitness News at 10. Suppose your doctor prescribed a new injection that could prevent years of needless pain, despair, and anxiety, and possibly change life as you know it forever.
The new hope, to find a recipe which rebalances the brain chemistry long-term without the old, sometimes dangerous side effects.
Monday, science specialist Ed Yates shows you how some Utah researchers are testing drugs which might become extremely effective at beating the blues. On Eyewitness News at 10.
I'm going to be late for my own wedding. No worries. My new Subaru Outback's more stable in a turn than a Lexus RX 300. Gets better gas mileage than a Ford Explorer. And like every Subaru, has the added traction of all-wheel drive.
Subaru Outback, the world's first sport utility wagon.
The rugged outdoorsy type. Nice choice.
Now you can get an APR as low as 2.9% on all 2002 Outback models.
If you're shopping for a new dining room set for the holidays ahead, Granite has Utah's finest selection and Utah's best prices. Contemporary, country, traditional, formal or informal, Granite's got it.
Like this 5-piece contemporary set in brushed nickel and cherry for just $4.99. And this week, we'll even throw in a 10-pound turkey with any new purchase.
We sell home furnishings to Utah. We know nobody can beat our values. And we work hard to make our service the very best there is. We're today's Granite for today's lifestyle.
Discover the magic of the holidays. Discover how at Modern Display.
Tonight, Jay's all new with Drew Barrymore, Ashton Kutcher, and Sugar Ray. Plus, Howie Mandel's hidden Howie Cam. Then on Conan, SNL's Tina Fey and John Stamos tonight. See Michael Jordan's triumphant return to the NBA on NBC. Wizards 76ers, Saturday at 6:30 Eastern. The NBA on NBC.
Our massive night of sports starts across the street at the Delta Center, where the Jazz invited the two-time defending world champion Lakers over to play. The team split 4 games last season. Shaq and Kobe working the old Stockton and Malone staple, the pick and roll. Then Shaq's dealing to Devin George, who slams. Jerry Sloan's Jazzmen take over a little bit, though, in the second quarter. B. Russ feeling it off the bench, buries the 3. Carl right nearby, rocking and rolling over Shaq. The jump shot is true. And then Stockton with the awesome no-look to Andrei Kirilenko, cutting backdoor for the slam. We jump right to the fourth quarter. Jazz rally to tie it. Stockton finds Kirilenko, who hits the open jumper and gets fouled. The rookie not playing like a rookie. Then he's ahead of the field. Stockton finds him. We're tied at 80. But the Lakers, you know, they've won 2 titles in a row. Shaq powers over Carl, 2 plus the foul. Jazz 0-2 for the first time since Carl's rookie season 16 seasons ago. Rod joins us live with the recap. John Stockton's injury adds to the